Welcome back, everybody. We are now going to the best of fives. It's winners quarterfinals time. My name is Formal. Joining me is Zepcast. You all probably have no idea who I am. I hope you know who he is, but that's one of the fun things about today. We're learning. It's an educational experience.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to be here getting to cast over these games. And, you know, Modern Warfare 3 has just come out. Brand new game, brand new season. Everyone is very hyped for this title, getting to play with the new maps, learn the new guns, and maybe learn how to play with new teammates. And for us as well, as you just said, it's a great opportunity. The game has just come out. The competitive seasons are just starting. And it's just a fantastic experience to be able to come in, work with new people, learn the game ourselves. And it's honestly, this time of year is just such a good time to be a Call of Duty fan.
Yeah. I mean, you know what isn't new, though? The two teams that we're about to be bringing on a stream, New Jersey Prodigy and the Newberry College, each played on stream earlier today. Each obviously got wins, hence the winner's bracket. And, well, some of these maps aren't really that, new either. They're kind of some classics we're going to be hitting. And speaking of hitting them straight into it, Hardpoint, match number 1. It is Prodigy kind of in that tealish blue, cyan color, whatever you want to call it. Newberry kind of in white, and already Spitfy's got first blood.
Yeah, I mean, early doors at the moment is Newberry. They're holding that hill. It's very scrappy, of course. Every first hill in the hard point is both these teams just trying to feel each other out, how they're going to be playing against each other in these kind of close quarters battles. But of course, we all know it's how it goes into this P2, how they're going to be looking at rotating and setting up for that map domination. And so far, it does look like New Jersey Prodigy are sitting well for P2, and it's up to Newberry College to try and get in and break that point, which it looks like they have done a very good job of, with Eternal getting round the back into that hill, and Newberry College off to a fantastic start here, 10-28.
I mean, it would be fantastic if not for the point that they kind of gave at that point, but it does look like that they have got, point 2 kind of set back up right now. So New Jersey Prodigy already a step behind on the regular right now. I wonder if they're going to concede, that second point quickly and go straight for the third point as well. Long shots, just trying to do what they can. The late frag doesn't quite hit that window. And yeah, Newberry College, very dominant start to this game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're playing these games, it can take a while to warm into them. And, Newberry College so far look like they are the team that has started off the hottest. I mean, you got Cells currently at 5-1 on a 5 streak. 0 time in hill, but I was just playing outside that hill well, helping Newberry hold the angles and hold that map control. And, is continuing to do so. But New Jersey Prodigy will be looking to get some time back here, because very quickly, if you don't get yourself onto that P3, you're going to find yourself falling far behind very quickly. I mean, already 19-75 as we're about to roll into that P3, and you don't want this game to run away from you that quickly on a map 1.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious about Diff right now in their positions, because if Newberry is going to flip the map at a key point for that third point to spawn, I feel like it's going to be on them where they're sitting right now. It's been a very, very slow push along the right side, so we'll be curious when that trap will be sprung. At the moment, though, Cells, the current kill leader on that Newberry side, is the one who's going to be looking to kind of break in onto that third point. Doesn't really, well, actually, no, did win out that first little bit of an exchange right now. It's going to be looking to wrap around. Here comes that push from Newberry, and they're doing a very good job at it. They take the third point back away.
Oh, that was absolutely unbelievable by Cells. Had no right to win any of those gunfights. And I was about to say as well, I was very curious to see how New Jersey Prodigy would play, having control of the hill and being able to hold it early on, but Newberry kind of made light work of that breakthrough. But Basic trying to go big again and maybe get a breakthrough for New Jersey themselves. But at the moment, there has to be a bit of a confidence hit, because New Jersey, they finally got that rotation going for them, and they lost it just as quick as they got it.
Yeah, it was another bit of a roughie for them, and they're already moving ahead to point number 4, but I mean, so far, just gameplay-wise, nothing's telling you that Newberry's going to mess this up again. I mean, look at Eternal, just fearless on that charge-in right now, already putting pressure, but this is looking like it could be New Jersey's first actual hold on one of these points. Straight down the middle, though, Newberry, they're getting themselves set up underneath as, the patient game doesn't really work out this time. They're a little bit too overeager, I feel.
Yeah, and I think you just have a fundamental difference with how the teams are playing at the moment. For the most part, the kills were quite even, which is a fantastic play there, by the way. But you look at the top player versus the lowest player, the difference between New Jersey and Newberry, you've got a 3-8 player in Tigres, and then you've got Cells on 9-2. And Eternals actually caught up to Cells, which I didn't really notice until now. 9-4, a good KD to have so far, and it is just that difference maker as the kills begin to peel away. That will be what changes things, and the map control from Newberry is sort of evident, but New Jersey, credit to them, they've got a good hold on that last hill, getting some time back. They've got a bit to go yet, but they're making a start, and if they can keep it going. But Cells, as you said, has been taken down there in New Jersey. They have an opening now to get back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're already a little bit faster onto this next point as well, as you can see. Get it under control. Newberry wasn't able to flip the map quite in the way that they would like. Eternal's really just going for a bum rush right there. It doesn't work out in their favor. And yeah, New Jersey, it was a rough start for them, but they're looking a little bit better. A beautiful flank actually by Click kind of stopped that later push from Newberry. And I would imagine Newberry, this is going to be their last chance at this next point if they're realistically going to flip it, and they might stand a chance because Cells has moved into a good spot, is able to find Click, and now might be able to hold down the fort. It's a good take for Newberry.
Yeah, I mean, Newberry playing very well, but you have to say Cells has been the MVP, and as you said, New Jersey have grown into this game. They are getting better. They're not too far behind, and you got to wonder if Cells starts to slow down and one or two players on the side of New Jersey start to pick it up, you could see this game flipping its head really quickly. New Jersey have room to grow into this game, whereas you can kind of argue that Newberry are kind of playing to their top level so far. So New Jersey have that potential to grow and get into this one, but Newberry so far, they're holding that dominant start that they've had really well.
And what I like, too, about New Jersey is they're starting to pick up on the fact how Newberry is always having someone on the outskirts trying to pull out that late flank, trying to just disrupt whenever that hardpoint is kind of about to flip at the moment, as we're seeing KB knows where basic is. Now it's going to make that climb up, looking for the flank. I don't think they're going to find it. Yeah, it was a little bit misinformed jump or moment, whatever you'd like to call it. Either way, New Jersey finally able to hold points again. They're constantly the first team on them because they're always behind. But Newberry, they're going to be happy to kind of concede back over to point 2 right now. Already on it is their top fragger in Cells. And although there's going to be a push from Basic, it actually goes Basic's way. That's big for New Jersey.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge. You know, Newberry took a big risk there by kind of leaving that P1 and going for that P2 because, yes, it's a good hill to hold. But if you lose it as they just did in that moment, then it leaves you in a very difficult position. But again, winning it back just as quick as they lost it. You talk about moments, as we said, Eternal going there on a 4 streak now, 14-11, nearly still going. I mean, just when you think New Jersey are in a position where they're going to fully come back into it, Newberry to pull something out of the pocket and keep themselves just about in the lead.
Yeah, but New Jersey got better spawns. They did a better job at flipping the map, so they are actually going to get to that second point first. And now all 4 members of Newberry are coming in, though, and it's just, again, a straightforward push right underneath. They get on the point. Last chance for Tigres to maybe save something here. Gets one, looks for the second, finds them both. Tigres saving this game again for New Jersey. That's going to flip the lead.
Yeah, what a massive set of kills to get. And with the game now becoming this tight, every 2-piece will be massive. And, you know, New Jersey have gotten back into this one in a very interesting way. You know, we looked at how well Newberry started at the beginning, and that was where you had Cells going, I think, 7-1 at one point, playing a lot of the outskirts. But the playstyle seems to have changed. New Jersey have adapted well. And because of that adaptation, they're now finding themselves over 10 points in the lead going into this next hill. And what a momentum switch from them. They've done a really good job to get back into this game.
All right, not to kind of break the flow too much right now, though, and I'm sure this question has been asked to death right now, but who is coming to this, like, decrepit neighborhood and painting that beautiful, vibrant, colorful mural? Like, who really feels just that wall, just that spot needs it? Because, I mean, they did a great job, but no one's going to see it except for corpses.
Well, I mean, look, that's the map designers. I feel, you know, they'll be the people asked the question, but it's a beautiful place for a hardpoint war zone. Wouldn't we all agree? I mean, we wouldn't want to be killing people anywhere else.
That one right there, you know, the crazy lips. I love it. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely has been a bit of a show right now. Not to take anything away from New Jersey Prodigy. Trust me, I'm not salty that they flipped it on its head because I'm secretly a Newberry fan. I have no horse in this race, but New Jersey definitely has been doing a good job to get back in this one. Newberry came out swinging, but now, as we're kind of on our final points right here, New Jersey Prodigy, not only are they in a prime position for the point swap as well, but they could end it if they're able to hold this top point now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just been the fundamental difference of, you know, Newberry started off with Cells playing at the top of his game. Eternal was playing very well, and New Jersey had a lot of underperformers. And with underperformers, there's room to grow within a game as you begin to just play and get warm and understand the opposition. So New Jersey just ended up showing what they've got, and if they can carry through this momentum into the next games, they can prove themselves to be very dangerous. Newberry have a lot to learn after this hardpoint.
Well, that's also assuming, though, that Newberry doesn't bring it back. Granted, they're going to be very, very proactive right now as Tigres almost just tried to end the game right there, not quite able to hold that point, and the rest of it should go to Newberry, but that's okay, New Jersey. They're content to start going for the next side. However, Already on it is KB, and Cells is moving there as well. So Newberry, again, they're trying to be a little bit proactive. New Jersey is going to try to get what they can on the backside of it. It kind of all depends how Click goes, and Click goes down. Diff as well. Looks like he's going to be able to defend. Got a nice little, 4K streak going for themselves. Newberry's in position to hold that next point down at the tail, and this hard point is not over yet.
Yeah, Newberry done a very good job of nailing down the rotations, and New Jersey could be in a bit of trouble, but with a streak coming in there, and then they're cleaning up shop just as quickly as they were there. They were gone. What a fantastic break from New Jersey, and now they have the spawns, they have the hill, and Newberry, they're running out of time. They need to get in here quick.
Yeah, Spitify is like really in a good spot right now to hold down the fort. They were spot by Eternal. KB isn't able to push through just yet. Basic holds down the line, but here comes right underneath his Diff. Can only get one before Click finds him. And as the time starts to whittle away, New Jersey Prodigy, they're so close. On the point is Cells. Gets a huge takedown right there. Except here comes the rush for 3. Can they find Tigris? The answer is no. Stepping onto the points is Tigris himself. Has to be on it because Basic goes down. Tigris doesn't want to step forward just yet. Waits to find that hit on KB. And that should do it. New Jersey Prodigy get the win.
New Jersey Prodigy, what a game. I mean, at one point, I believe they were down to 10 points to 80. So they had a very poor start, all things considered, but grew into that game so well. Played together as a team, started to rotate better, get more map control, expose the weaknesses of the opposition. And you have to give them so much credit. And you look at both sides, how they played, all getting similar time on the hill. Some players standing out in the kills, but overall what you can tell from this performance is that it was such a team-oriented game. Everyone was pulling their weight, doing their own thing, playing together, playing off the back of each other, whether it was for spawn control, hill control, or rotations, whatever it may be. They all done a fantastic job, but in terms of momentum, New Jersey just managed to swing it. And they'll be going into this evasion 1-0 up and feeling pretty confident, I'd say.
I mean, nothing like a comeback, right? To get yourself in that mood, to get that momentum on your side. Granted, changing up the game modes right now, Search and Destroy on Invasion is where we're headed next. Now, personally, being an older gentleman myself, all right? I mean, you all saw the gray hair at the start before. That means I played, the old Modern Warfare games, which means I'm looking at Terminal. I want to get the distance, all right? I want to go all the way. Sleep be damned right now, because what time is it where you are?
Oh, well, it's only 10 to 10 in the evening for me. It's not too bad for me, okay. But yeah, I have a feeling for your side of the pond, it's a touch worse.
Yeah, right. So fun fact, I live in Australia. More fun fact, I've been up since 3 in the morning watching this event, all right, because of the little tech delays, those little hiccups. I still have that energy. I'm still kicking. I'm still here. So, if you want to respect and thank us for taking, these unusual hours, well, there is that casting competition that's happening right now, and you can see now, I noticed the first 2 duels, Zep, were like, oh, everyone here is so wonderful, everyone here is so great. Forget that. They all suck. Vote for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could sit here, we could be graceful, we could say we love everyone else, but no, we hate them all, and we hate some of them in particular, of course, but we won't say who, yep. So we make them all paranoid. Vote
FBI
for us.
Vote
for us.
And I'll call you out, Tugboat. I'll call you out, yeah.
Oh, we actually want to start saying names now. My God.
Yeah, look, Tugboat, out of everyone here, Tugboat's the only one who I've done a cast with, so that's the only one I feel confident enough to call out, and hopefully he'll understand it's. I
gotta go for colorblind. Then I've had the pleasure of working with him before, so he's the only one I'm going to say that I hope it doesn't go well. I hope he loses. And but all jokes aside, we actually do love everyone here. And colorblind, as I said, I've had the opportunity to work with him before. Fantastic caster, and even better human being, as I'm sure all the fellas are here, and it's fantastic to be able to be in a pool, with all of these people and working with this team. It is a fantastic opportunity, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far as we're getting ready to go into this map too.
I will say this though about colorblind. I think color isn't the only thing that's blind though, because we each just shamelessly stole from him. Just putting that out there. We shamelessly stole these backdrops from him, right? So, if you like the backdrops, I guess you could thank him for it. But yeah, we robbed him blind, as well as we are on that search and destroy. First point right now, and already on the attack. Eternal with the bomb, going to be looking to plant it. This is, I'm not going to lie, this is where my lack of experience might show on this one, because now we're in proper tactical shooter territory.
Yeah, I mean, and I haven't actually seen this map play before, the Search and Destroy, yet, so I feel like it's a learning experience for the casters here as well as we, get eyes on this in round number 1. But so far, both teams doing a good job of staying alive. They're really feeling each other out now in this round 1. And just as I say that, Eternal comes in with the first kill and people are starting to get mixy, but it is Newberry, a man up with 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to find that spot right now. Again, everyone just sitting down on their sight lines. It's going to be one of those more slower approaches, it fears. Door getting kicked down by KB, and, well, the bullets come flying. They're able to sneak out just in time. So if you wanted fast action, well, we're not going to get it just yet. Cell's taking some shots at Tigris. Is actually found on the other side. It's another quick 1-for-1 as KB leaves themselves exposed. Basic falls as well. Now it's all down to Click, but they know where he is. They'll get that last frag, and the first point goes to Newberry.
Yeah, Newberry played very well there. They just played patient, played around the point. They waited for the picks and then made their move. And, after that it was a game of trades. It's just a basic, fundamental area of S&D done right. You don't rush into anything. You're feeling out the opposition. I feel like both of these teams so far, from what we've seen, even from the previous Hardpoint, they play very similar. They're both happy to play with one player maybe playing for a little more map control, and then Search and Destroy, they're both happy to kind of play sort of feeling each other out in that round 1 element. They're very similar teams so far, but Newberry getting that all-important first round and maybe going to try and get a bit of that momentum back that New Jersey stole off them in that map 1.
We'll see if they can find that. I do have to wonder, all right? Now, this could be, a dumb question new to the scene as New Jersey Prodigy gets that first, kind of pick right there. Is New Jersey, are they a proper club? Are they, we are New Jersey, we represent New Jersey, we love New Jersey? Is that the backstory for this team?
Oh, to be honest, I wouldn't even have a clue. I could sit here and be all, pretentious on my Call of Duty high horse and give you an answer that could be completely wrong. But I'll be honest and say, I don't have a goddamn clue whatsoever.
I'll take that. I'll be the one who's completely wrong with this one. I'm assuming they are, which has me surprised because why would anyone be proud of being from New Jersey? That's my question. I'm throwing that shit.
Well, you're out to make enemies today from insulting our fellow casters.
Yeah, I'm out for blood, okay? I've been up since 3 in the morning. We're at that stage of the mentality. I've liked these players, all right? I'm a dog. Let me out of my cage. Let KB play the patient game. Doesn't commit for the flank straight away, then finds it. Another nice little pick for them. That said, Spit, if he was right behind, but actually doesn't find the turn that they were looking for. Kind of ran right past the target. They get found out, and another point goes to Newberry.
Again, Newberry playing very well. These S&Ds so far, they're very slow, but they're very methodical. And so far, Newberry just seem to be able to play with a bit of patience, and it's just going really well for them so far. Not much has been going on in terms of bombastic action. As you said, it has been sort of a slower pace Search and Destroy, but you have to give credit to Newberry. But New Jersey will remember they started off poorly in that last map, and they were able to pull it back and garner some momentum of their own. Newberry will be aware of that, and they're going to try and make sure they don't let New Jersey get into this game whatsoever.
Some more murals, more beautiful artwork in this game. Again, the artwork in these games are always just so underrated, as a whole. More people need to, actually value, the effort that's been put into some of these street murals. Either way, should be focusing on the third point right now, unlike KB, who wasn't focusing on their sight lines, as Click was going to find a quick pick on that for first blood.
Yeah, nice little quick pick to begin with. And, Newberry now in a position where they are a man down and trying to work as well with this bomb, trying to get it to a point. They're kind of working from a position now where they don't have all the cards in their favor. See if they can orchestrate something out of this. And again, you look at that map, it's so stagnant, it's so patient. Everyone is looking for that pick. It is just basic moving up on the map towards Diff, it seems, getting closer, and some gunfights coming in here. It's so just slow, methodical, back and forth, looking for that opening, and Basic getting a great kill there to put Newberry in big trouble. And Eternal will be chasing this one down, but a losing battle for Newberry, you would think here, as it's now a 1v4.
Oh, Cells. Look, Cells was pretty pivotal for the successes that we saw from Newberry at the start of the last round, and well, it's the start of this round, and they're already 3 points down. That's a bit unfortunate for the Newberry side. I suppose New Jersey does get one back.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be very interesting to see, how the rest of this plays out, because in terms of looking at which team has the upper hand with this one so far, it's really difficult to say. No team has really come out in any of these rounds and shown that, we're the main guys, we're going to run through, we're going to do this new strat that takes you off guard, we're going to be dominant. Very back and forth so far, but we have to wait and see. You know, both of these teams could have been using these rounds just to feel each other out, and now could be in a position where they're maybe able to implement some strategies to take advantage of the weaknesses of the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if that's the case. Oh, nice frag coming through right there. KB just stuck in an awkward room, and that could open the doorway, actually, for New Jersey to make a push onto that A point. They're not going to get the plant just yet because Cells was holding down the line, but with too many members, too many footsteps, going to have to retreat back for now. I think Basic may have seen them. Spitify definitely did, and that's going to leave Cells in a bit of a hard place. It's going to be more of a rush right now, as we can see the plant coming through. And now Diff is going to try to take the point back. Does get spotted, but it's the flank from up above that finds the 2 picks right there. Now 2v2, time ticking away. I like the positioning from Spitify so far. They've been doing all right, but yeah, it's going to be tough to defend right now. The question is, when does Cells make a move onto that bomb?
That's really hard to know. Apparently right there, right now, and then another kill coming in as well, and Newberry are going to get that defuse. That was some phenomenal play from Newberry to win that back. They looked like they were in a lot of trouble, being a man down. That bomb was going down. It could have got very dangerous very quickly, but again, we talk about how these players seem to really know how to play as a team so far, play off the back of each other. It's not one player going for a 2-piece, it's one getting one and then the other coming for that backup to make sure they get the job done, and that's what worked for Newberry there. They played together, and despite being a man down, got onto that defuse, and I think that was one of the rounds that we needed to see, where you could see a team maybe just taking it that step further, and Newberry, that round will definitely have given them some confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a nice round for the Newberry side. I've also just realized, too, for what it's worth, I think whoever wins this is should be considered the proper Wolf team, seeing as, you know, they each have a Wolf icon and a Wolf logo. But at that same token, I'm pretty sure 25 to 40% of CoD teams have Wolves as their logo.
Yeah, I mean,
some
Wolf,
facet.
It's a very common logo, to say the least, but you know, which wolf is hungrier? You got to be hungry like the wolf, said Duran, I believe, as Eternal, you know, taking this bomb forward too. You know, great score to have so far in the S&D. I think for Search and Destroy, something to always keep in mind, as long as you're keeping positive on that KD, you're doing something right. And I mean, so far, you know, except for KB, a lot of Newberry have been playing this right, and I do say that, and then Cells all of a sudden breaks even. It's very back and forth, but Newberry's still that man up there, looking like they're getting that bomb down on A, and you know, going 4-1 up makes a massive difference.
I was about to say, was that your polite way of calling out both KB and Spitify at this stage of being like, yeah, everyone's doing great except for these two?
I was not calling anyone. If you think it's a call out, then you know, you do you. I'm just talking in generalizations here, but if you want to name names, that's on you.
I said before, I'm out for blood today, okay? I thought that was apparent when I just, trashed on the entire state of New Jersey. Either way, Basic is going to go ahead and get that defuse, so the New Jersey Prodigy will take another round, keeping themselves within one as we get ready to jump on to round number 6.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to New Jersey. They're holding on in there. I think all things... Oh, well, you're not going to give credit to New Jersey. We know that much for an absolute fact.
I'll give credit to Prodigy.
Not to the actual place that is New Jersey. Prodigy. I'll call them Prodigy from now on, so it doesn't boil your blood as much.
I think that's for the better for the stream.
I mean, absolutely. But you have to give the credit. They're holding on in there. Newberry had a round or two where they were beginning to look more confident, beginning to look like they were getting a foothold on the Search and Destroy, and Prodigy have been hanging in there. Could be in a position now to orchestrate a good attack and tie things up again. This Search and Destroy really could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, they're already onto the plant right now. You can see Basic's going to try to go for it. Diff tries to hold the line, but yeah, too many members. They find themselves quickly flanked. Meanwhile, on the backside, actually, a fun little duel's happening between Eternal and Spitify. We'll be curious to see how that one plays out as KB is found out as well. New Jersey Prodigy have a really nice hold now on that B side. Cells trying to do what they can, but is not going to be getting any backup from Eternal as they did go down on that backside. So now, where can Cells go? They're going to try to play for that last flank. They're the last one alive. How extreme are they feeling? I mean, they're going all the way back right now. It is going to be a bit of that Hail Mary shot. They want the long sight lines, but no one's immediately found, and I don't even think there's going to be enough time to pull this one off.
Yeah, not a hope. Maybe get a couple of kills, boost that KD a little bit, and, you know, shooting the foot away off one, and maybe being able to get a second here with 5 seconds left to go, but doesn't look like it. Looks like they're all going to rest, and, you know, New Jersey, credit to them once again, tying this thing up with 3-3, and as I said, it really could go either way. Again, we go back to that map number 1 Hardpoint. It was so back and forth, all things considered. You know, one team being dominant to begin with, but then kind of been really even and back and forth towards the middle until eventually you had Prodigy kind of come out towards the end and win that one. And again, similar story with the Search and Destroy. It seems back and forth, and as soon as you want to count one team out, they come back into it, and it's a very even affair, all things considered.
Yeah, it is, which, I mean, hey, it's good for, terminal enjoyers. Gets us, one step closer, hopefully, to getting to that pivotal 5th map. But right now, once again, New Jersey, they definitely seem to be the more decisive team at the start. They definitely like to run to their points a bit more, whereas Newberry wants to slow play things. Now, it will be Eternal with the bomb, and they're going to be rotating back for now. Going to look for another avenue past those sight lines. New Jersey doing a good job. Kind of minding their P's and Q's right now. It'll be a patient game once again, as it tends to be whenever Newberry's on the attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting how we've seen the flow of this game change as well. It was very A-oriented for the first couple of rounds. Now the teams are going B. And, as we draw to a close in the Search and Destroy, if we get to those really later round situations, both of these teams have played well at both sides. So it'll start to be a case of, towards the end, which side are they going to go to? Because we've seen they can play both sides well, and it's really going to be a case of mind games. But speaking of mind games, Newberry are man down with that clock running down, and New Jersey doing a great job leaving Diff as the last player alive for Newberry, and just like that, it looks like they'll be in the lead. Yep. They are. And Newberry all of a sudden find themselves in a bit of trouble.
And for everyone out there who might be panicking right now and thinking, oh my goodness, the Prodigy, they're looking like they're going to win this one out because of that best of 3 at the top. A friendly reminder, this is in fact a best of 5. See, look, okay, hold on. Even right there on the final kill, he had like a Florida banner popping up. Even they're not proud of the fact they're from New Jersey. All right, I just have to put that. But the point is, this is a best of 5. It's not a best of 3. So even if the Prodigy does win this one, we still will be going to another Hardpoint next map.
Yeah, absolutely. Still potentially plenty of Call of Duty left to go in this one. And, Prodigy doing really well so far. As we go 2-0 up, could they be fire starters here as they look to try and make it 5-3 and kind of put that one foot over the door of making it 2-0 and making things very difficult for Newberry? But you can't count Newberry out with the way that they've been playing, and then, as I say, that Diff gets absolutely beamed. So maybe start counting them out. I don't know. You do you make your own choices. But Newberry, I do think they still have a chance here. It's all to play for as we go into these final few rounds.
Yes, then through the smoke we go, looking for that cheeky little plant right there, and they will get the bomb down, but at what cost? As KB's got themselves in a nice position, finds another, but they do go down to Basic, so 2v2 right now. Basic still standing, has been that key fragger, now has to, well, get gunned down, I guess. Was going to be looking for a 1v2 situation, not going to find it. That will be a defuse. That will be Newberry again equalizing the match.
My God, Cells. I mean, you talk about a player who comes out in moments. Every single game has that one player on either team who just comes in clutch when it matters most, and Cells at some terrific plays in that map number 1, and here we are map 2 getting a 2-piece to tie things up at 4-4 as we go in to round number 9. What a fantastic play. And you talk about a confidence booster, the rest of the players on that team will be looking to someone to lead them through in moments where it might not be going as well for them, and maybe now that's a bit of momentum they needed back to push forward and potentially take this game.
We'll see if they can find it. Eternal will have Diff with them as they initially look towards the B site, and then they're going to rotate around back to A, where Cells kind of got themselves stuck in a little bit of a firefight. Click has done a good job getting into this position, was able to spot KB as they slid on through, but wasn't quite able to hit that touch. They're going to retreat back a little bit further right now, although if Newberry's smart, they should know he's in there. There comes the grenade, and out runs Click, making sure they don't get caught in that crossfire.
Yeah, doing a very good job of staying alive there, Click, in this situation, and about to get into a gunfight here. Looks like they're close. Is it going to happen? Basic! Oh, you can't be losing that. Basic. Oh, Basic, come here, have words. You need a hug. We're all here for you, Basic. My God! That was disgusting.
That was a roughie. That one stings, and well, so does the rest of that round, because Newberry's going to walk away with another. They're going to match point and a chance to equalize this series right now. Newberry 1 away. Man, these two teams, they are so evenly matched, it feels.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been having the banter. We've been absolutely slating the state of New Jersey to no end for absolutely no reason. But you know, we have to pull it back and say that what we're seeing on our screens here is two very evenly matched teams with players who seem all on a very similar level, who are really bouncing off each other, playing in different ways, constantly learning, evolving their game. And you know, it's a very good thing to be playing against opposition of similar level to you very earlier on in Call of Duty in a season, because you're just learning so much as things go on. You're learning how to play, you're learning how to play the game, and you get better. And you know, credit to these teams. I feel like they'll have taken a lot from each other after this series.
Well, you know what I just learned? Because I just Googled fun facts about New Jersey, and the third thing that came up was more cars are stolen in the city of Newark than any other city in the United States.
Oh my! I mean, look, listen, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, what do they like? There's the reason why New Jersey should be able to win this is like an invasion, search and destroy in New Jersey is just trying to go for some shopping. Like, it's a very similar experience, you know. Like,
it's just what
they should have the advantage.
It's just what we're learning today, that's all. But at the moment, they have the advantage on this round, actually. It was 2 quick frags, and now it's up to Eternal and KV to try and hold Newberry back. Eternal, though, is going to get a flank, so they'll find Basic first and foremost. That said, Tigres is also the leading frag taker and could be the one you got to be mindful of. KB, slow push, spots Tigres, and they get the second. KB, though, last man standing, has to find both Click and Spitify. As they look down the sidelines, doesn't see anyone yet. I think they might have spotted Click, as they're going to go for the flank around the tractor. Loses out on the duel, and that's going to be a New Jersey win.
Yeah, we are going to a round number 11 here. It has come right down to the wire, map number 2, and you have to give massive credit there to Prodigy, the way they play that. KB picked up a kill, made it that 1v2 scenario, but the way that timer was sitting around like 19 seconds, not much time for the 2 kills to come in, so they just played it safe. They played away from each other. Very clever use of the clock there from Prodigy. Good tactical awareness, and now because of that, they have a chance to sneak it here to go 2-0 up at the death in this round number 11. I'm going to put you on the spot, man. Who do you think is taking this one?
For the sakes of going all the way to the end, I'm making on Newberry. I kind of like what they've been doing. I like that slower approach that they've tended to have. They've been a bit more controlled, I'd like to think, and in high-pressure situations, you want to rely on that. That said, KB, well, that's not the pathway you want to take. Does the smart thing, backs out for now. Now, looking for a re-engage, not going to find anyone to get into a firefight with just yet. Basic on the other side of that wall, not going along the lines of sights. First frag, so important in situations like this. New Jersey, they're trying to look down a lot of sight lines. B is locked down, but A is where the push is going to be. Unless we see a crazy sort of flip of the map right now. That's looking less likely. Spitify actually might have just seen the Newberry side. Diff has gone down as well. Things are looking good for Prodigy here.
Yeah, Prodigy done very well there. I was watching that gunfight in the minimap over at B. It was going to be a massive one, but big kills coming in here. Basic winning that one. The hug done him well as he picked up that kill, and now it is up to Cells to do the Lord's work here, and I think it's going to be too much and not enough time to get it done, but I mean, fantastic performance
3,
all around.
2, 1.
I mean, you timed that brilliantly as New Jersey Prodigy come away to make it 2-0. And, you know, one thing you have to say right now is that if anyone's tuning in just now and they might be seeing that it's 2-0 to Prodigy, it doesn't tell the tale of the tape whatsoever. This has been a very, very closely contested series so far. It's 2 very evenly matched teams, and, you know, any different scenario that could have taken place there to where Newberry could have come away with the win.
Yeah, it was a very sort of tense matchup right now, but I mean, something about that Prodigy side, they were a lot more decisive, I feel like, when they made their pushes. They were a lot faster in getting into the positions that they wanted, and as we get ready to go to Hardpoint, again, going to be going to Invasion. It is, you know, it's a Newberry pick. So maybe it could go in their way. Maybe we will get ourselves into that sub-base. But what I'm learning about the Prodigy from our first 2 matches is that they get warmer and warmer the longer the game goes. And so the later and later into this series we get, the more and more I'm liking Prodigy to maybe even win this one in 3 or 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing with Prodigy, you made a very good point in how they were playing that search and destroy, and that whenever they wanted to go to a point, they seemed to do it quicker. They seemed to be more as a unit. Now, again, that could be a strategy thing. Prodigy, you know, for search and destroy, maybe just prefer to get onto a point quicker, whereas you go to the other side with Newberry, maybe they just like to hold off. They like to play that distance, kind of try and suck a team into them and get those kills before moving forward. And when it comes to a Hardpoint, it's hard to know how that will work for the teams, especially on the likes of Invasion. There's a couple of points where they can hold out, like Newberry could hold really strong in some of those key hills playing the distance, but then also if Prodigy really want to keep up with that high-paced gameplay, they could start running quick, so flipping spawns quickly, getting into hills, overwhelming, getting through kind of just areas where shorter range gunfights kind of avoid those holding ARs at range. There's a lot of different ways now that both of these teams can play against each other based off what they've learned off each other so far in these first two maps. So it's going to be a really, really interesting map to watch in this one.
So then how do you beat New Jersey then? If there's all these different ways based on what you've seen, what is that answer? What is the secret to getting the better of New Jersey? Because I think the entirety of the East Coast of the United States would like to know.
Well, I think I think with Newberry, if they kind of keep doing what they're doing, but can manage to do it a little better in the sense of what you're seeing right there. Cells holding the distance, holding the angle, getting that kill. He's been so good at doing that. And then you look at New Jersey, they have Click in there going that close range, pushing towards the hill. And now, you know, it is New Jersey getting that initial time, but Newberry could get themselves in a position now where they get control of the outside and start pushing in. And it's very evenly contested as we're seeing so far, but T-Grizz, my God, what a start. 4-0, controlling the middle of that first hill. And it doesn't matter what you want to do as Newberry, if you have a player popping off like that, it's going to be a very difficult day for you.
Does that count as a caster curse, though? Because the second we call that out, you know, they get spotted by Eternal and go down. Like, it was pretty close to it. Granted, I mean, they are already setting up for that B point, and they may have actually kind of flipped it a little bit earlier than they would have liked. Newberry getting the better of the first point by 1. And while 1 isn't the biggest of differences, it would be a big difference if Newberry's going to be able to take the second point back. Not looking to be the case, though. That second point being held very nicely by the New Jersey side.
Yeah, and already looking at the way this one is beginning to shape out, Newberry, they have been slower, and Prodigy have been looking really confident in the way they're pushing gunfights. T-Grizz has had a phenomenal start in this one as Basic is coming out looking to make it a double. And Prodigy, well, as soon as they've done that, Eternal's answering back with his own set of kills. Such an intense beginning to this map, but, you know, Prodigy, you have to say, they do look like the warmer team, and we've seen how they grew into that first hardpoint. So if they have room to grow in this one, it could already be game over for Newberry.
I mean, they're already rotating to the third point right now, just leaving T-Grizz to hold it down because they're just doing such a good job at holding down that left checkpoint. And unfortunately for Newberry, I think they wanted to flip the map a little bit faster, but New Jersey, aware of it, kept a couple people back to stop the map flip so they could keep New Jersey going through that choke point. Just a really smart way to play that map, and you know that's something that they've practiced coming into this one. Like, this is the scenario we want to be in. And I think that's a big reason why they abandoned the first checkpoint as early as they did. They really like that second checkpoint infield.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, this third checkpoint can be a really good one to hold as well. And Newberry so far doing a good job, you know, getting those first 20 seconds. But if Basic and T-Grizz have anything to do about it, my God, T-Grizz now 10-2 now, just got taken out. But New Jersey Prodigy really coming into their own, not just in this map, but in this series. They have fought some really hard rounds of both the Hardpoint and the Search and Destroy, but now, even though there's not that much of a points difference, you just look at the kills and you look at who has the map control, who's the one that can break a hill and show some dominance. It's Prodigy at the moment that are winning it out, and if Newberry can't counter that soon enough, they're going to be in a constant state of being 10 or 20 points behind until it's too late to do anything about it.
Well, it looks like they're doing a little bit better right now. It feels like they were able to get to that fourth point. So again, they'll be the ones holding it for the time being. And it is going to be New Jersey pushing from the right side, actually. They weren't able to flip the map, which I think is a good thing for New Jersey. It's a more direct line to the point, and they are going to be able to get there first. And once again, Newberry are going to be stuck in a position where they're going to be pushing through choke points. Oh, Basic almost flubbed that play. Was able to turn it back around. They're going to be looking okay. Now the patient game works against them because of the stun grenade. Really well done by the Newberry side.
Yeah, Newberry doing a good job here. It's very much back and forth, but then it's what we've been seeing in almost every single hill so far in this hardpoint. It's back and forth, but then it's Prodigy that they get that 2 or 3 on the kill feed, lighted up blue, and it's Newberry having to reset. And you know, even you want to take a minute to look at the KDs, and you see the players who you were thinking you could rely on to come in clutch. Cells now 3 and 8. He was such a clutch player, just can't pull it up. Has a decent amount of time in the hill, but then you look at other players, KB and Diff, the KDs aren't great, and the time in hill isn't great. It's just as a 4-man unit, it's just not working for Newberry as well as it should. Whereas Prodigy, you feel like it's all coming together for them here in this map 3.
Oh, if Basic can get a map flip right now, New Jersey could get such a big lead. That's why Basic is kind of like spying in the back. That's what he's looking for, and is getting the picks needed. I'm going to be so curious on these next couple spawns right now from the Newberry side, and they are on the opposite end. So New Jersey flips the map right when it's time to push onto the point. They are playing the map so well.
Basic is absolutely popping off here, and I'm sorry, but how many hardpoint hills have we seen already in this map where you think Newberry have control, and then who do you see in the kill feed one after the other? Basic and Tigres. Those are the two you're always seeing one after the other clearing out a hill. They just have Newberry at times in the back pocket, but to give credit where credit is due, there's been times that Prodigy have looked really dominant, but Newberry have kept themselves in it, only just 30 points behind realistically as we're going to reset back onto that P #1. So they have plenty of time left to get back into this one and set some momentum flipper of their own.
He is eternal, and he is the one keeping Newberry in this game. To be quite frank, it's so much of it has been on Eternal and on their shoulders to like come up with a lot of these clutch duels at the end of some of the prolonged firefights. There's a reason why they have the highest KD on that Newberry side, but when Eternal gets spot out, that's when Newberry really has been able to find and hold these points. As case in point, we're kind of seeing it right here. That said, oh, it was a shallow respawn actually for the Newberry, so they might be able to make one more push on this at the moment. As you can see, kind of ran right into the meat grinder, gets ground up, and already Spitify is moving to that next point, already looking to get themselves set up right there, and we saw how that point went last time for the New Jersey side. If they can control the spawns once again, it'll be another meat grinder situation for the Newberry team, and Spitify already holding the point down.
Yeah, I mean, Spitify doing a great job there in the rotation, and Prodigy, it's been a majestic rotation for them, as we've seen throughout this entire map. Even when they kind of aren't on a hill first, they rotate to break it incredibly well. And, you know, again, Spitify doing a good job. They can put the feet up and stick the kettle on here with how the rest of his teammates are playing. I mean...
Basic did it again.
It's such a cohesive unit that we're seeing here, and, you know, and that's where you have to look at Spitify and look at that KD and not be as impressed, but... You talk about how we just seen there working on that rotation and getting those initial kills or two. That is massive for their team, for Prodigy, and everyone's just playing their roles to a T right here, and they're doing a fantastic job. But again, as we talked about staying in it, Newberry not out of it yet. As Cells, you look at Cells actually, just to look at, who was 3-8 at one point, now 11-13 on a 4 streak with nearly 1 minute in hill. That is a pretty massive turnaround to these last few points.
Yeah, and I think New Jersey kind of stepped off the hill a little bit earlier than they initially wanted to, because they were in the spot that they wanted to be in. Basic got the kill on the far right side, so they had control of the spawns. They had control and knew where Newberry was coming from, but they just weren't getting the points that they needed to hold that hill down. They weren't standing on the hill in and of itself, and I think they kind of let some points slip away from them. Could be a catalyst to get Newberry back in this one, because while, yes, New Jersey has been finding these small advantages, I mean, Newberry has still been right there. They've been right at their heels. This next point is going to be so pivotal for determining who wins this game. And to remind everybody, Newberry has to win, otherwise we're looking at a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Cells as well on that 5 streak. And we talk about, you know, Prodigy having issues where they're not picking up maybe as much time as they should in certain hills. You look at the KD difference across the board. That actually is a big issue for Prodigy. We give them so much credit where credit is due. They are playing incredibly well. But for that KD difference that we're seeing now, they should have way more time than they do. And you have to give a lot of credit to the time that they have as well as Tigres, who's 20-8 and has 1 minute 47 and counting in that hill.
Yeah, Tigres is looking like the MVP of this one. Eternal, though, wanting to break that, does get the pick onto Tigres, but now has to rotate to the new Hardpoint, tries to get, it looked to be, I think that was Basic who was kind of rotating through the middle. No, sorry, it was Click. Well, they still got found out. They still get gunned down. However, no one on the point just yet. Finally, Basic is going to step on it as Diff finds another one. Doesn't have the line of sight. Goes for the grenade throw instead. Second throw, the frag. It bounced off that sill. Not quite in the way that they needed it to. This is a lot of points going Prodigy's way.
Yeah, Prodigy getting a good hold now on this hill. And, you know, Newberry, they do have a good chance to break in here. Big gunfight coming up. Solidified taking out Eternal, the arguably MVP. But then, who is it? Who is it of all people? Tigres coming in with a couple of kills as needed. And very up in the air at the moment. It does look like Newberry are back in there. But Prodigy, almost by right, should have had that hill lost. But you just have moments where that Tigres is just about getting enough kills to kind of keep Newberry maybe on the point, but struggling to keep it.
It's been that situation throughout right now. That said, this next point has been a difficult one, I feel like, for Newberry. At least it was last time we were here. We'll see if they're going to be able to take it off, because New Jersey, they're kind of so close at this stage. And as someone who has been a fan of this team from the start and has never doubted them, I think a sweep is exactly what is on the table. Newberry, they've got themselves set up possibly for one last push.
But you know something, I think you would agree, you know, if Prodigy managed to take this one here and win this one 3-0, that would be the greatest achievement in the history of New Jersey.
Absolutely.
I think I would argue.
I mean, I would, except for the fact that the New York Gridiron teams actually should be New Jersey Gridiron teams. Either way, though, it goes right up there. I think it's like the second or third best thing in the state's history. Put it on the state flag. Put it, set it up in Congress or whatever Americans do these days. New Jersey Prodigy, they've got the point, they've got the match, and it's going to be a clean sweep for the New Jersey side.
Yeah, massive congratulations. I look at them, they're ecstatic. I have never seen a face so rife with joy in my entire time on this planet Earth, but New Jersey Prodigy coming away with the victory. And for how tight that score was, for how back and forth this entire series was, to where it really could have gone either way throughout any map. You analyze the stats, you look at the KDs, you look at the assists, non-traded kills, damage, all of that. Even though you give a lot of credit for Newberry for managing to keep themselves close in a points-wise, that was a dominant performance from New Jersey Prodigy in that third map. They really came into their own. They just seemed to warm up more and more throughout the series, and they look like a force to be reckoned with on the respawn modes. I think with the search and destroys, it could be a touch more back and forth with them. There are ways that they can be outplayed depending on how a team sets up against them. But in terms of that respawn, Prodigy look like they have it all going for them in certain moments.
Yeah, they really, really did. The way how they played the map, particularly on Invasion, on that last point right there, was super inspiring to watch. And yeah, had they just been on that point a little bit, I should say a little bit more willing to stand on the point, be a little bit less afraid to put your body out there in front of the hail of bullets. They could have possibly won that one faster, or they could have gotten picked and completely thrown the match. Who am I to criticize when they wound up winning? But at that same token, I'm going to be curious to see how far this team can realistically go right now, because I know a lot of people, the other casters, they were talking about the other half of the bracket, and that's where all the real big threats are to go all the way. We've seen Prodigy win on stream twice. I think that's an argument that when the pressure has been on, when they've had the cameras on them, they've come up big 2 times now. Maybe it's the other side of the bracket we should be watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they did play just incredibly well there. I think they have so much potential to go forward and improve as this game goes on. And I mean, you just look at the way that they played those maps and the perfect point that you made about it, and how it seemed like that they could have maybe gotten on the point more, been more aggressive, pushed out. But I think they played the way that they did to counteract the way that Newberry like to play at times, with Cells playing that AR at distance. They didn't leave themselves into the position where they'd be open for long range shots. And at some points that meant maybe sacrificing an advantageous position. But ultimately, I think it was a strategy that worked well for them in the overall, because again, it was a tight game, but they did end up winning by over 60 points. So you have to give massive credit to them for that. They just kind of sucked the life out of Newberry, it seems. Even though they could keep themselves in it, they could never get themselves fully back into it. And at that point, Newberry, the confidence just started draining for them. And with each bit of confidence that drained, that's when Prodigy just started to get more and more into it.
Well, we'll see how far they can get into it as well. We have a quick little look at our sort of state of the winner's bracket right now. Acrylic was the team everyone seems to be talking about. Barely got past Elation. I'm going to be curious to see how they go up against either Soundwave or Galaxy. I'm thinking it'll be Galaxy when that one moves forward. But I will have to say right now, is there a chance we could see that lower bracket? Because that's where the spiciness is, right? That's where we get to see, which teams are possibly getting eliminated. And already SVG so far up there, losers round 4. That's also where we are going to be seeing, the other Wolf team going to be down there. Look, to be honest, I'm more here to look at the logos, and the fact that we only have 2 Wolf teams and they went up against each other, that's kind of cool. Also, Sponsorless has the single greatest logo out of all these teams. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, I mean, talk about just leading into the curve there. I mean, yeah, what can you say? It's truly just a masterpiece, should I say, of branding, of making yourself known, and
that's how you get sponsors.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if I was looking to pour my money into a team and I saw that logo, I was like, you don't even need to pitch to me. Take my money.
Now, and you know what? If I was a viewer and I was looking for some casters to sponsor when it comes to voting,
hey, that was a segue and a half.
There's a place you can look. There's some casters you can vote for. I think their names are certainly not, formal and Zepp. It's probably something along the lines of Colorblind and Laz, or maybe Tugboat and Kappa. But hey, you know what? If you want to vote for us as well, I think we'd appreciate that one. That said, I believe, you can see me looking your way. I believe we have a little bit of an interview coming up very, very shortly. That's what I gathered was the case. I don't know. It's time to throw professionalism out the window. Our match is done, right? We can just do whatever we want now. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're here now, and Basic is on the screen. Basic, we got to give it to you. What a fantastic series that was to watch. Really intense all the way through, you know, from a search and destroy that went down to that final point. It really could have gone either way, but got to take a moment really to just appreciate how you were all playing on that map number 3. It really felt like it all came together for you guys there. It looked like off that map number 1, it was a case of where you were growing into the game. Was it a case of then in that map 3 and how you played, you felt like you had just grown into the series overall? You had felt really comfortable and confident in what you were doing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even in that map 1, I mean, we knew, like, even if we can't get into a hill, just chalk it and go to new, work on that 60, because a lot of these hills in this game are super hard to break. But we know if we just keep on our composure, keep talking to each other, and just setting up for new and working on holding that down, that we're never really out of the game.
I mean, and it showed that you guys were able to get comebacks, I think, in every single map except for that third one. My question is going to be a little bit of a step back, okay, because we were talking about it. I need to know, you guys, New Jersey Prodigy, focus on the New Jersey. Why don't you do the thing that every other New Jersey team does and name yourselves after New York? Why do you stick with the New Jersey title?
I'm not sure. You're going to have to ask the org owner for that. Only one of us is from New Jersey. So I know a lot of people around.
That's why they won.
This weekend thought we were all from New Jersey, but actually only Tigres is from New Jersey on the roster.
Well, you got to give massive credit as well to Tigres as well. I mean, some of those breaks that we were seeing in that map 3, again, I know I'm going to map 3 a lot, but I was just so impressed by the way you guys played on that map, because you were saying about even the rotations, and you did rotate very well on that map, but even at the times where, you know, you weren't necessarily on the hill first and you were having to go into those breaks, it just always worked. It was always a two-piece pinching in the angles. It just felt like the timings of everything worked, you know, splendidly. And do you feel like that's something that you guys have been working on a lot, like just making sure that you're hitting the timings well together, and it's not the case of where, you know, having that basic kind of one-man push and it not working? You're really working together as a unit to make sure you get it on a hill and get it broken quick.
No, yeah, for sure. If you hit hills in this game alone and you're just single filing in, you spawn so far out that it just makes breaking impossible. So it's really important, and we were working on, you know, just talking to each other, taking our time, coordinate our nades and stuns, and breaking together and hitting them.
All right. Last question from myself, and then I'll leave the rest to Zep right now, because you can go into the deeper side of things. But you're talking about coordination. You're talking about syncing things together. We saw that fist bump at the end. That was less synchronized up together. That one was a little bit off. Are you going to be working on that in between games when you inevitably go on to win, you know, the winter semi and get to that grand final? Are we going to see the clean fist bump next time on stream?
I hope so. I'm going to make him sleep outside tonight because he was just leaving me hanging.
But I just, again, I got to give you congratulations on not just a fantastic performance, but providing a fantastic series to watch as well. And, you know, going back to that search and destroy, you know, you're in that map number 2. It's very back and forth. I mean, we were sitting here commentating over it, and we were saying literally right up until the very end, we had absolutely no clue where it could go. You know, all the other maps, we could kind of have moments where you could say it would go to one team or the other, but that search and destroy had us guessing all the way. Is that a situation you just love to be in as a player? You've taken it all the way. It's round 11. The pressure is on. Is that something that you feel like you all would thrive off as a unit, because those are the big moments and what it's all about?
Yeah, definitely. Speaking for myself, I love those moments. I mean, it's part of making the game, playing the game, so much fun, the adrenaline rush, and just winning it. No other feeling, so that's what we live for.
Excellent. Well, again, congratulations. Jealous of the fact that you're actually at that LAN. I'm sure both of us would love to be there with you as well. And good luck with your future matches, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
And also, while we're thanking wonderful people, it's time to thank another one of our sponsors as well. A big shout out to none other than Texas Rage. They're sponsoring, you know, 2 teams in this event right now, so they definitely are hoping their squads come through, supporting the great state of Texas. And I would love to see a Texas versus New Jersey rivalry brew, man.
Oh, absolutely. That could be the way to go. But you have to give massive thanks as well for them coming in, sponsoring the event. You know, it's literally events like these, are not possible without these sponsors, people coming in and seeing the potential in these events and wanting to support. So again, just massive shout out to these guys, for being one of the reasons why this is happening and why we get to be here to broadcast to you guys, why these players have places to play. It's a massive honor and a privilege for all of us to do. So massive thank you to the sponsor. Make sure to go check out that Twitter link that you're seeing on your screen.
Yeah, at TXRageGG, in case you're just listening to the audio, not actually watching, in which case I'd have to question how you put up with at least myself. All right, I'm not going to throw you under the same bus. I'll take the hit on that one. But definitely, to them, Texas Rage, to all the sponsors who are helping field teams, who are helping putting this event together. Obviously, when it comes to esports LAN events right now, I think now more than ever, it's super cool to have these things happening, going, and to everyone who's been able to attend. It's been fantastic. So, on that note, before we move on in this event, one last time, I would like to implore people out there, again, I want you to acknowledge the sacrifices that Zepp has made to be here. We were talking about before coming in. The man has only slept 2 hours in the past 48, right? Was that what it was? 2 hours and 48?
2 hours in the last 48. I mean, I'd like to lie and say I was really, really busy. It was completely my fault. I don't think I could count going to concerts as something, where
you're too honest.
Yeah, I have to say I was
that's not the concerts. That's not the actual truth. Was he was so excited about this event that you had to blow off some steam, so you went to a couple mosh pits and some concerts, to keep the energy,
right.
to keep yourself distracted, so you could come here and everything would be fine. But yeah, the man, absolutely body on the line. I mean, for myself, it's what now 8:30 in the morning here. I've been up since 3. All right, we care. We care more than any of the other casters, all right? We cast from the heart. We cast from the soul. Big Rich isn't even using a real picture. He's using a caricature of himself that makes him look way better, and that caricature looks way too cool and way too handsome, and I am incredibly jealous. So to vote for us instead of him to fuel my jealousy or something. I don't know. I'm just rambling here. I'm so sleep depressed.
Just keep it going. Listen, folks, he said it's 8:30 in the morning over there. If there's any man who has an excuse to do a bit of rambling now, it's this man right here. But for real, we're just going to say it's been a massive honor to bring this series to you guys. It was a fantastic game to cast. It's a fantastic thing that we're a part of here, the cast off, as you had just seen on your screen with all the casters. You can vote for your favorite pairing. Make sure to do that. Of course, we're going to sit here and implore that you vote us, but in all honesty, all these casters, they do great work. I've had the privilege of working with one or two of them before, and they're fantastic casters. We have a great team here, so make sure not just to be checking out the games, make sure to be paying attention to the casters, showing them love, and maybe giving them a little vote if you think they're your favorite. But we all know who the real favorites are here, and they're on your screen right now, of course. I
lit a candle in memoriam for the other casters and their chances of winning this thing.
Yes, absolutely.
We've already won it. It's done. That's what that was. All right. It's just I'm lighting a candle for them because they tried their best. No, definitely do check them out. Definitely watch along all the way till the very, very end. It's the most, I would say, fair and honorable way to do this. And enjoy the rest of the show. But on behalf of Zepp and myself, thank you so much. Thanks for allowing me to have a bit of fun with your community. I don't know anything about it. I'm using you as like the person I'm thinking because you're the one who knows CoD. I don't. So thank you. Shout out. Love you. And show will continue in a few moments.